all been hacked and leaked and is now publicly available. The blueprint for a genocide in China has been exposed. Amongst the leaked documents were over 2,800 mugshots, complete with detailed explanations of what these people did and why they were detained and forced into these concentration camps. The Chinese government claims that only terrorists are detained, but the documents show that this is a systematic genocide and detention of a people group based on ethnicity. This boy was under 16 when detained. Do you know what his crime was? He was simply a relative of another detainee. In fact, the Chinese government detained an entire family, including young children, forcing them to become state orphans for their parents' crimes. This girl, who was only 12 years old when her crime was committed, was simply in a house where other people were listening to an illegal speech. This boy, whose crime was committed in 2010, you know what his crime was? Studying scriptures when he was 9 years old. This woman was thrown in jail for 15 years. Yes, 15 years for using a VPN, which is a tool that allows you to visit websites blocked by the Chinese government. In fact, many Chinese government apologists, like Olympian Eileen Gu, insist that anyone can just download and use a VPN in China. This is simply not the case. If you're a Uyghur minority from Western China, you will be tried for second-degree terrorism for simply using YouTube, Facebook, or WhatsApp. How about this 72-year-old woman? You know what her crime was? Studying the scriptures in the 1990s. It's easy to get caught up in the thousands of mugshots and photos, each with their own story to tell. But let me focus on just one, to explain to you how this works, because it sounds just like someone I know personally in China. Ablajan Bekri was sent for re-education. You know what that means. This wasn't voluntary. This was the camp. His story mirrors a young man that I met in Inner Mongolia, another highly controlled province of China, home to the Mongolian people, many of which who do not want to be part of China. Let's call him Arban. Arban was a free spirit, a nomad. I met him on my journeys through the grasslands. Arban showed us the traditional ways to cook a goat, Mongolian style, with hot rocks within its own skin. When we were enjoying the meal together, he broke down into tears. He said, "You guys can explore our land on your motorcycles, but we cannot leave. We are meant to be nomads. We are made to explore, but we live in a sensitive area controlled by the Chinese government, and they do not allow us to leave. Our household registration keeps us here, stuck in one place, and the government tells us that we are not allowed to move, or we are arrested. The Han Chinese people around us can go wherever they want, but we Mongolians are trapped. I am trapped in this life, and I just want to be free, like you guys." I think about Arban's story often. I lost contact with Arban, probably for the best, because of the material I cover could get him in trouble, but Ablajan here, the Uyghur that was detained, he was detained for this very crime, suspected of an illegal departure. The Uyghurs are not allowed to move freely, not within China or abroad, especially if they come from a sensitive area within Xinjiang. The Chinese government claims that they're just like any other Chinese citizen, yet it is now proven that they are detained in concentration camps simply for trying to move around. This is damning. This is the proof. It's been nearly impossible to get any information out of Xinjiang because it's a complete dystopian hellscape on Earth. A real-life open prison, a surveillance state that supersedes North Korea in many ways. These documents and photos show us what is happening at the hands of the Chinese government and shows us some of the faces of the people, the human beings that are being brainwashed, dehumanized, removed from their homes, thrown into camps, and systematically having their freedom and identity wiped off the face of the earth, all for being a different ethnicity. How is China responding to this damning hack? Well, I was invited to an exclusive press interview with the expert on Uyghur genocide, Dr. Adrian Zenz. I asked Dr. Zenz about what China's official response has been and what he thinks they will do unofficially.
The official response has been, this is another attempt to smear China by anti-China forces. And Xinjiang is a peaceful place where people live happily in harmony and there's good economic development. They never respond to any specific allegation at all. They're probably gonna really again further tighten up IT security in Xinjiang, any information security. They're gonna make it very tense, no leaks, no hacks. Xinjiang drifts off the radar when there's no new information. That's how it works with the media. And they will just continue put out their counter propaganda and present happy Uyghurs, happy dancing Uyghurs testifying about how good everything is. It's going to be even easier for them to pretend that everything is normal.
I highly recommend everyone look at the documents themselves on the Xinjiang Police Leaks website and make your representatives, your congressmen, your political officials know about this. Let the world know that there is a genocide happening in China right now and that the Chinese government is the one doing it. After that, let's see who is still willing to invest in and deal with China after all this is known. I appreciate every single one of you, especially the people that have subscribed to the channel. And if you have not already, please make sure that you are subscribed. It really helps me out. And also the people that support me on patreon.com/laowai86. I very much appreciate every single one of you that make all of this possible, that help me be able to be supported to get this information out there. I appreciate you guys so much, and I appreciate if you would consider joining my Patreon. Thank you very much.